The following game has been rated M for mature by the ESRB for blood, mild sexual themes, mild violence, and strong language. What that means is anyone under the age of 17, basically anyone still considered a child, should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Frostpunk. That has nothing. Well, it's technically a Frostpunk. This isn't that kind of game. I don't think they make that kind of game. I mean, they probably do, but I don't play it. Mainly because I don't know what it is, and it doesn't really sound interesting to me. But I digress. So the premise of Frostpunk is that you are in charge of a city, and you have to build the city, manage the city, maintain a stable workforce, feed the populace, research new technologies. So it's like any other regular city builder. The only difference is that your city is smack dab in the frozen Arctic nowhere, and it's getting steadily colder because you're locked within a global ice age, and because you're far to the north. Because that's where the resources are. It gets progressively colder and colder until eventually everything freezes, and if you're not lucky, everybody dies. So it's been going almost well. So on that note, this game is of course made by Thank you again. That being said, let us begin. Okay, so this is the city, and we have to prepare for the storm. Sir, the scientists couldn't believe their eyes, but they double and triple checked their calculations. They say the strongest winds of the storm will cause the temperature to plummet beyond anything we've ever experienced before. Since negative 70 is what we're currently facing, I'm guessing absolute zero. Hunting will be impossible, which I have expected, but hopefully wouldn't happen. Plants in the hothouses will freeze, which puts a crimp in my plans. If we left outside the city will perish, so I'm guessing outposts are already gone. And so will we if we can't heat our homes properly. We have to prepare. Hope falls. It's probably not going to be the only thing that falls. In fact, given the fact that I ran my city as a basic juggling act, going from current need to current need to current need, I don't have much in the way of stockpiled resources. In fact, I could max out my coal stockpile, and that barely lasts a day. So I'm fairly certain that once this happens, the only thing that's going to go up will be the body count. And hope falls by a lot. All teams back in the city. mostly because the one and only scout team that I had, I disbanded last episode. Everybody with a mission away from the city is back and safe. If it's possible to be safe from the cold coming our way, that is. Alright, so if we pause it real quick. So hope fell by a ridiculously amount because, well, the storm is coming, and we have relatively high discontent, and all 3 people died last episode. Okay, so we have prepare for the storm, because apparently the guys who made this game think that this all can be done in a day and a half. Game time. So outposts, I guess close all the outposts, which is okay because I didn't have any to begin with. Survivors, rescue survivors from the ice cavern. Crevices did that. Rescue the survivors from the deep hollow, did that. Those were the 2 areas that... Oh wow. As I was saying, those are the 2 areas that I hit from here. And well, the snow burrows is already gone. So I'm not getting that one. Then the cold. Research generator upgrade 3. I have 2. And 3 requires, well, 4 I don't have. Steel I don't have. And then research overdrive couplings. Let's raise the temperature of all heat zones by 2 levels when the generator is put into overdrive. Overdrive will cause the generator to explode, so we'll consider that though. And then food. Gather at least a week's worth of food for each citizen, a total of just shy of 3,000 food rations. I have 1/100th of that and 1 thing of raw food. That is not happening. It means we all die, considering I have 30 people hungry, 9 people sick, 4 gravely, 15 freezing, and 161 already being treated. The only thing I have in general supply is surprisingly wood. I thought I wouldn't have that much. So, I have a day and a half to get all of this done. That is not happening. We can, however... Yeah, that requires steel, which I don't have. I can try to do a mad rush for, basic food. One, 2, 3, 4... 5 maybe. I'm gonna need roads to everywhere. Set roads to everywhere. Alright, so I doubt they're definitely not gonna get that much food and food rations in one day. Given the fact that over half my population, about 250, just shy of half my population is being treated for frostbite. Let's shut the factory down because it's just eating more steel than I really have. I need the steel to research the next level to upgrade the power generator. Yes, everything is cold, everything is inefficient. Still gotta get it done though. The plus side, we have more rations now than we do starving people, so... minor bonus, I guess. Barely any food. I should have done this a week ago, game time. But I didn't know what was coming, so that is no excuse. The burial ceremony is starting in the cemetery. going to be a lot of those before there aren't. Lawn, care center. It's ridiculously cold in these places. I'd build a steam hub, but I need the steel to research the next tier of upgrades, so that way I can get third level, well, steam level 3. Which I probably wouldn't be able to do because, well, we don't produce enough coal. Alright, so it'll take 10 hours to get to the next level once they open for the day. So they announced come in 2 hours early and leave 2 hours late because we will not have the time. Severe frostbite, a citizen had to have a limb amputated. Desperate father took his own life. Sir, the man who wanted to go looking for his daughter was locked inside his house as he ordered. Today his neighbors found him hanging from the rafters, left a note saying that this was the only way he could be with his child. Sad part is, that's probably true. Ain't no one surviving outside, and I'm not entirely certain we're going to survive inside. May he rest in peace. I would have liked to have helped him, but as usual, I don't have the means of doing so. It's going to hit negative 80 and then negative 90. And then it'll freeze for about a week. And then everybody will starve to death. And we'll all die. Of course, we're also going to run out of coal in about... how many hours? Less than an hour? Yep, we're out of coal. Everything is now off. Alright. One person has died. Kick it back on. Get all the heaters back up and running. Steam hub, cookhouse, care house, child shelters, thumper, gathering post. Factory I turned off, so there's no need to run the heater. Same with this steelworks because it's being run by a machine. Not that it matters because it's, well, now negative 80. And hope falls even further because the storm is coming. And there's more discontent. And even with the heaters on, the med posts are still too cold to operate. Same with the hothouses. So everywhere is now too cold to actually operate. I'm going to just like this, but it's not overdrive. Turn on the overdrive system. Because if the overdrive hits maximum, basically 100%, the generator explodes. I think it does one extra level. Yeah, we're now burning through coal like it's crazy time. Alright, well, I can't keep the overdrive on for a significant amount of time, and the med posts aren't going to work in this level of coal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismantle all the med posts. Apparently I did disassemble all the med posts. This bunkhouse is apparently freezing. Where is it? Oh, all the way over here. Interesting. Well, I mean, I got enough, so... There's a steam hub right here. The care house and prison are the warmest places in the entire city. Man, if we could just build more prisons and just shove everybody in there. I'm well aware that they didn't break the law, but if it's the most insulated building in the entire city, it may be the only place that keeps them alive. I'm not seeing any more med posts. I'm assuming I took all of them apart. Now that they're all gone, let's turn off the overdrive and put it up to steam level 2. And that's still burning through consumption more than needed. So we're not even going to have enough coal. Yeah, I actually have not. I was hoping that I would be able to, once I got rid of all the med tents, that they would their heaters no longer drain the coal supply, that I would actually get enough of a bonus to keep it at steam level 2. I can't even do that. Darn it. I'll send out a propaganda flyer. People must be told repeatedly that we survive every day thanks to order. At least it bumps hope up a little. More severe frostbite. And it's actually too cold to actually work in the cookhouse. Turn off the wall drill. Put it up to steam level 2. I'm going to have to keep it at this level. What else can I shut down? Where's consumption going to? Various steam hubs. It's actually probably the steam hubs that's eating all of it. Cookhouse, the care houses, and the child shelters. Yeah, I got so many steam hubs going on that they're just burning through all the coal. But the problem is, if I don't have them all up and running, then all the bunkhouses freeze. You know, they're very cold as it is, and that's only because there's 2 building insulation and there's +2 for the heat zone. And they're -6 for the weather. So if I can't get... what the steam coal thumper required for steam coal. Interesting. Well, if I can't get quality, as in, then I'm going to have to go with quantity. Because there's no better coal, it's going to be quantity anyway. But if I can't decrease demand to match supply, I'm going to have to increase supply. Get me another steam coal thumper. And 2 more gathering posts. Because this one was able to build enough of a stockpile that the gathering posts couldn't gather everything. we're going to see if this other thumper will be able to match that once it gets built. If it gets built in time. One thing I need is more time, and it's also the one thing I don't have. Put a steam hub here just for fun. Because I got nothing better to do, so why not? And they're actually maxed out in terms of prison capacity, so I can't round more people up to decrease discontent. Alright, so this is done, so we'll just pile everybody in. You know, we'll use engineers for this one, so that way I can have the workers be in the gathering huts. Although I could have engineers in the gathering huts anyway, so. Just, turn on everybody's heater and put them in extended shifts. I know. Discontent rises. Little I can do about that. People can either be unhappy or they can be dead. So mechanical calculations has been researched. We now research tier 3 technologies. So go to the tech tree. We can increase generator power by 3, so let's research that. The discontent rise. I don't think I can withstand any more over rising discontent. So about the only place the storm hasn't hit yet is Winterhome and a snow cliff. Another burial ceremony. Why are people hungry? We have enough rations to last a day now. I don't think we can keep it at 2 for right now. Generator's shutting down, of course it is. Because we're once again out of coal. And it just happened, and we ran out of coal just as the work shifts ended. So not only do we not have any coal, but we're also not getting any more. Switch the automation off of this and put it to here. The automation onto the coal mine to hopefully it'll generate coal at least a little bit so we can turn it at least back on. Mild frostbite. It's about to get a lot worse frostbite. That I can tell you. No kidding, we're out of coal. We've always been out of coal. Drop the range by another level as well. we had 6 and then dropped down. What is eating coal if the generator's not on? Final warning, the people are furious. Sir, people extremely discontented with rule. A revolt could break out against you at any minute. What should we do? We'll hold out for a couple more days. You have 2 days to lower discontent. Or send the guards out to calm them down. I am working on it. Send the guards out. Can we turn the generator on now? So able to get it back up to steam level 1. Right, turn the cookhouse's heater on, as well as the hothouse and the infirmaries. And those are the only things that are getting their heaters on right now. Not that it matters, because we're all going to die. So the storm hits the city. A hollow gale bursts upon the city, and the generator creaks and groans under the weight of the wind. Pale faces turn towards rattling windows. Why do these houses have windows? Trembling lips utter words of prayer. The cold will be brutal. Hunting is impossible. The soil in the hothouses will freeze. Have to make do with the food we stockpiled, which is none. Survive the storm. We are not going to survive the storm. We prepared well for the coming storm. No, we did not. Now all that's left is survive until it passes. We will not. We have 233 food, and the cookhouse is not working. So we have 233 raw food, and just shut it down. And no actual regular food. Where is the next hothouse? Go ahead, we're 2 hothouses. Kind of wish I had more, but we don't. I don't. Oh, it's going to get even colder. So it's going to drop to negative 120. I have 2 hothouses, 1 cookhouse, and a bunch of hunter huts. And we have no hope. Can't even look at the Frostlands anymore. Like this, like little frost. Oh, the beacon's even shutting down.
Order, people. Let's march to work.
Yeah, what work? Nothing else on. Right, get it up to steam level 2. Hopefully, we can at least turn the hothouse on, the cookhouse on. Alright, get the gathering posts up and running. Round up more people, at least cut down on discontent slightly. Guards will round up wrongdoers and put them in prison. it's even too cold to work the cookhouse at steam level 2. We have a ridiculously large amount of people sick, 23 gravely, 10 amputees, 350. Basically, everybody who isn't sick is freezing. Actually, a lot of people who are sick are freezing. We got more and more frostbite. Basically, the only thing I can do nowadays is make certain that I'm getting coal. What was that? Discontent. Dispute about supplies. 14 overtime work. You know what? I gotta be honest, I'm not entirely certain it matters anymore. Put everybody back in normal work shifts. At least they won't be as discontented. This is working overtime. I should be able to check that. Yes, the steam hubs that are taking the largest chunk of coal. But it's also steam hubs that are pretty much keeping the city running. So who else is working overtime? I think these guys are. I'll leave them to it though. For now. Batteries off. Infirmary doesn't have a shift. Prison doesn't have a shift. Oh, the hothouses. Well, they're not actually working anyway, so. It's the public house. Apparently it matters. Alright. So, who's still doing overtime work? It's in the steam hubs range. Okay, so there's that one. Coal mines. Coal mine, this one's being run by a robot. Steel mine. It's just 2. Now I left the workshop on overtime because I want the power upgrade done. Even though we probably won't be able to run it without the coal. What am I missing? Cookhouse. It's not working anyway, so. One of our people have died. I'm fairly certain more people will die eventually. Okay, so I can pass a law. Not that it probably matters. So we have triage. Doing anything. Well, triage. I could pass triage, which would instantly heal half the patients, but kill a quarter of them. Hope will fall, and discontent will rise. I have practically no hope left anymore, so that'll probably be a bad idea. The only other law in the book of adaptation I have is the dueling law. Which will discontent will be reduced permanently. Each spontaneous duel will reduce discontent. Sometimes people will be killed in a duel. Well, there's probably plenty of people who are going to die anyway, so That's an option. And we have the Book of Purpose, which the only two options I have right now is forceful persuasion, which explaining to inmates the enormity of their wrongdoings is a more direct manner and return them to society faster. Basically, they torture the prisoners until they agree to, well, obey. Reduces prison time in prison. Prisoners will be may get hurt or killed. Discontent may rise. Then we have New Order, which is literally on fire. So the introduction of the New Order, all who voice doubts will be treated as traitors. Obedience is the highest virtue, without which the city can't survive. It won't survive with obedience. All those who do not follow will be swept aside. Hope will never be a problem again, which means I probably don't have to worry about lack of hope. Londoners will have to renounce their views. They're already gone, so it doesn't matter. Public execution space will be built. Some Londoners will be killed. They're already gone, so it doesn't matter. Some people were compelled to fight this law. Some of these will die. Yes, I've spent this entire game trying to avoid martial law and a militant rule. So I'm still not going to do that while I still have other laws I can pass. Dueling law it is. Everybody fight to the death.
Hear me, hear me. New law in the city.
I wonder how the old notions of honor will apply in our new world. Sometimes the only way to settle a fight is to raise the stakes. Alright, so generator power 2 upgrade has been researched. Temperature will in all heat zones rise by 1 level. Something burns more coal. We're all going to die anyway. So generator efficiency. Generator will burn 10% less coal. Steam hub range. Consume twice as much coal. I can't even afford to feed it all. Overdrive couplings. Rates in all heat zones by 2. The generator is put into overdrive and will cause an explosion. Now, I like this one, heater efficiency. Burn less coal, minus 1 coal per heater. Shame I can't do that with the steam hubs, that'd be neat. What else can I get? Not that it matters, so... Streamlined prosthesis, pressing will cost 5, still less to streamlined. Streamlined automations, only cost 20 wood and 20 less steel to make. Automated integration improves the workplace integration automation, boosting their efficiency by 10% up to 70. So that's the thing. Can insulate the gathering posts a bit more. Build larger resource depots. Coal mining optimization. Didn't get to read that. Steam saw and steam steelworks, as well as a steam wall drill. The steam coal mine. I thought the coal mine already was steam powered. So efficient gathering, food, health, and safety, industrial hothouses. Lots of industrial houses. Steam heated hothouse where a variety of crops can be grown, supplying 60 raw food per day. That sounds cool, but it takes 2 steam cores, which I can't build, and the ground's frozen, so it doesn't matter. Farming mechanization, and I can upgrade to houses. Simple house with 10 people will be protected from the weather. Now let's look at the houses next. Shit, what's this thing that tells me this? Generator will burn through 432 coal per day. Steam hubs 2,592. Heaters negative 448. That's steam level 3. And it's still too cold for this thing. Although we're not at steam level 3 just yet. The entire second ring out here was built based off of the steam hub, the main generator being at range 2, so I don't have any steam hubs here. We're at level 3 now, and it's still too cold to operate. So I have -7 for weather, negative +2 for heater, +1 for building installation, +1 for cookhouse installation technology. So I have +4 and -7. So -3 down, and it's too cold to actually do anything. So all the food that I have can't be actually turned into anything. Of course, I should also point out that it's also not within a temperature range, so... That just increases consumption by a ridiculous amount, but it's working. Was working. Cookhouse closed. Cookhouse go back open. Same with the gathering posts, but I'll keep the coal thumpers back down. One second. Working on it. Okay, so what do you want? Healthcare crisis. Storm's harvest. Captain, the ill and their families together demand that we do something, anything to help them. If the number of frostbite cases keep rising, we might be able to help all the sick in time. We could use triage to heal most of them, but many will have to die. This calls for drastic measures to disperse the crowd. I'll find another solution. So you'll have 3 days to use. You have 3 days to use triage. I passed a dueling law, which will probably means I won't even have time to pass another law in that time. I can disperse the crowd, which discontent will fall, or I'll find another solution which causes discontent to rise. Just disperse the crowd for now. That's all I can do. What do you want? People die in healthcare riot. People die in the streets. Captain, an angry crowd has gathered to protest against the deplorable state of our healthcare. Many people have been ill for a long time with no help in sight. They demand a new place of treatment. Open an infirmary, which I don't have a steam core to do. Disperse the crowd. I won't address this right now. Disperse the crowd. I'll pass an emergency shift for the cookhouse, because in less than a day, temperature will drop another level, which means it'll go back to not working. And I need that food to be this food. It's the only way we're going to have anything to eat. And the temperature will drop significantly by 3 more levels. So in half a week, it'll drop to negative 150. Round more people up yet? No. No, we do not. Alright, so you know what? Since these guys are no longer functioning, let's just dismantle the hunters' huts. That's a child shelter. And you. And you. So that steam hub isn't helping to burn through the coal. Turn off the steam hub here. Turn off the steam hub here. One person has died. There's going to be more people dying, I assure you. Turn off this steam hub. This one, what are you? Your bunkhouse. I should not be turning off the steam hubs by the bunkhouses, but I need to cut down on coal somewhere. And their bunkhouses are cold anyway, so. You need to keep the cookhouse cooking until all the raw food is gone. Once all the raw food is gone, then I don't need the cookhouse anymore. I can just turn that off. Let's turn on the wall drill just, well, for no other reason than because why not? I got over half. Okay, maybe not over half. Severe frostbite. On the plus side, we should have a positive for coal now. Even if all these bunkhouses are ridiculously cold. I don't know if every steam hub... No, that's a galley. I'll put the child shelter heaters back on. Hell has frozen over. I wish. Wind, I can't hear my own thoughts. It's perfectly accurate. Alright, and the cookhouse is now, well, cooked everything. So, you go off. And we'll wait until all the coal goes up, I guess. Drop the range by 1. I can't even tell if this content's going up or down anymore. Why am I putting people in hunters' hangars? We can't go hunting. No, I can understand with the hunters' hangars being offline, but I would have liked to at least have the hothouses still. Alright, so we now have 142 rations for 490 people. That'll be gone in about a day, and then people will start starving. And that'll probably be 2 more days, so right around here is, well, we'll run out of food before here. Then if it takes 2 days to actually starve to death, that means everybody will start dying around here, which means everybody should be dead here or here, so we probably lost this. So even at maximum, we can only have about coal for about 2 days. Alright, so increase the range to 2. You know what? Put the steam hubs back on. And we got houses researched, so that's always fun. So I can have 3 steam hubs on before... We don't need the cookhouse on. Right, so about the only heaters I still have left are... I mean, everything's cold, so it's like, what's the point? Turn you on. Yeah, everywhere's freezing anyway, so. Just see. Oh, and discontent rises again. 1 emergency shift, 7 overtime work. Well, since the steam hubs aren't on, come on. There we go. Wrong one. Down that overtime. Whoop. Oh, I could just rotate the camera. I could just click madly until the thing that I actually want to hit, I hit. And of course I have to remember to actually hit the right thing, because I want to shorten their shift and not turn off their heater. Alright, so for people, house. What do I need to build a house? 35 wood and 25 steel. So let's start building houses on the outskirts. Just simply because, well, the other guy is farthest away, so if I don't turn the steam hubs on, they're the ones that need the insulation the most. So this one's actually too cold to actually work. One person has died. That steam hub's on. That steam hub's on. We'll set this steam hub to only work hours and turn it on. So that way it's only working when, well, people are. One more person has died. 55 people homeless, but that's only because we're upgrading their houses to, well, something that probably isn't going to do much anyway, but it makes me feel better for getting it done. Yeah, so the regular house has +3 building insulation. The bunkhouse has +2. So, with the heat zone, with it being still in the heat zone, it goes from freezing to very cold, at least until tomorrow when it drops even further. Whereas outside the heat zone, it's still ridiculously cold. Do I have enough for an upgrade? I actually do. It only takes 17 metal to upgrade a bunkhouse from a bunkhouse to a house. Still have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are already houses. 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? There's an easier way to check this out. Housing. So we got 38 houses still. And if each one takes, what did I say, 17 metal? That's a ridiculously large amount of metal I don't feel like calculating it out, so. just add to my problems, why don't I? And we're now out of food, so people are now beginning to starve. Mild frostbite. Prison. Round people up. You know what? Turn the heater on. Or not, because it doesn't look like it's going to do anything anyway. Turn off all the hunters' huts just simply because, well, they can't do anything in the cold, so there's no real point on having them active. Yeah, I couldn't even store all the food that I needed. One more person has died. So I don't think it's possible to get out of the cold, and it's just getting worse. Now negative 110. And we now have no food. Everybody's cold, everybody's sick, everybody's gravely sick, everybody's frostbitten. The infirmaries aren't even on anymore. At least this one isn't. Let's turn on this steam hub, see if it does anything. -9 for weather, heat zone, so building insulation gives it +2, heat zone +3, healthcare insulation technology is a +1, and the heater should technically give it a +2, so that's 4, 7, 8, -9 for the weather, and it's still technically cold, freezing. Must be at least chilly inside. So it's too cold for even the infirmaries to function. Alright, so turn off the steam hub. There's no point then. In fact, turn off any infirmary that's flagged as not working. Which, by the looks of it, is all of them anyway, so... And the public house too. Does that actually do anything? I don't know. And the shower shelters can't be turned off, but they're too cold anyway. And I need more metal to upgrade to something, so one more person has died. So how is it this steam hub's still working? Well, this steam thumper is still working, but this one isn't. Oh, now it is. Okay. I can pass a new law if that helps. So I guess I could have gotten triage. The discontent is too high for triage. So all that's left is just triage. Discontent is too high for force and persuasion. Or I could pass new order. I don't think new order is going to be any help. My issue right now seems, well, discontent is somewhat low. I think my issue right now is discontent is too high. I have no food, people are starving, and it's basically a race between to see if everybody will freeze to death first or will they starve. Oh, storage limit has been reached. Okay, so let's turn this steam hub on. Just, you know, for funsies. Build more houses. Would overclocking the generator do anything? Yeah, let's be honest. That answer is no. No, it will not. No point on no point on blowing up the generator if it's not going to do anything. Now what? People die in the streets, Captain. An angry crowd has gathered to protest against the deplorable state of our healthcare. Many people have been ill for a long time with no help in sight. They demand a new place of treatment. Given the fact that the infirmaries aren't working and I don't have the material to build any more. Disperse the crowd. Alright, healthcare captain. The ill and their families have gathered to demand that we do something, anything to help them out. Price keeps rising, we may not be able to help all the sick all the time. So I guess because I dispersed the crowd last time, I can't disperse this crowd. I mean, I could pass triage, but then discontent will be too high. Well, let's try it. Worst case happens. Yeah, I can't even pass triage because discontent's too high. And even if I pass triage and manage to pass triage and use it, I'm fairly certain that it'll collapse hope. I'm still working overtime. Seriously, who was still working overtime? Can't be the cookhouse, I don't think. That is the cookhouse. Okay. Can I pass triage now? I can actually pass triage now. So new law has been, and that maxes out discontent like it's nobody's business. Can't get back to work, you're useless. I get that. Doctors will just pick who lives and who dies. That's scary. I'm well aware of that. People are furious. Sir, people extremely discontent with your rule. A revolt could break out against you any moment. What should we do? So send guards to calm them down. The guards don't even like me. We must hold on for a couple days. We have 2 days to lower discontent. Okay. Have to lower it by that much, which I don't think will happen. Should not have passed triage. Can I even use it? Yeah, discontent will rise and hope will fall with each patient. I can't even use it because the infirmaries aren't even working. Die. Get another house built. cold if I even use triage. Oh, maybe if I spike the generator. That gets it working. And that bottoms out hope. Healthcare promise fulfilled, hope rises. Now that it matters, I can't keep the generator in overdrive, which means that the infirmaries stop working, which means there's no point in keeping them on. Arrest people. Turn up the heater. Although on the plus side, it dropped the amount of people sick and dying by a ridiculous amount. And discontent did actually drop by a fair number, even if, well, hope tanked. Let's send that out, propaganda. So it increased hope slightly. People must be told something, something. We're going to survive! Well, most of us will. Well, none of us will. I think it was possible for it to get this cold. Yeah, it is. So, one day it's 17... Did that increase or decrease? I can't even tell. I send people out, but I don't have the food rations to do that. And it gets even colder. Goody. Let's see if turning that on helps. It does not. So the storm, darkness before the dawn. Sir, one of our engineers has come crashing through the door, white face, demanding to see you. They have run the calculations for new data. The storm will pass in a couple days. Temperature just before the end will drop drastically. Nothing can protect us from such cold. Panic is starting to spread and people lose all hope. Alright, so that doesn't actually do anything to drop discontent. So it looks like it's actually a race. Because temperature will drop significantly 3 levels. And it, I'm assuming the sun is... No, that's not a sun. That's not a sun. I was going to say, it looks like the temperature dropped 3 levels and the sun will rise. But I'm looking at it and it won't tell me how long it'll increase. And I don't think that's a sun icon. That's just... It's going to get ridiculously cold and everybody will die. Alright, so what's the problem now? People refuse to work. Sir, a group of people employed with this Walter refuse to go to work today. They say they want to spend their final hours with families. What shall we do? I'm not willing to increase discontent, so let them stay home. More wood's probably not going to help us out anyway. I mean, housing might. Put them over here. I have 1 day and 9 hours to convince the people to trust me. And Roundup has a cooldown of just 1 day. So assuming I can get enough people out of the prison in time, I could technically probably try to use Roundup to drop discontent further, and hopefully that'll get down below the cutoff mark. So what's eating consumption? Turn off the steam hubs. Again. More people are starving because we're out of food. Actually, hang on. What now? Frozen family of the storm. Sir, the family living in this home, they're all dead. They were found huddled in a tight place under the beds, behind wardrobes, next to each other, some partially undressed. All of them froze to death. May they rest in peace. A pile of people died. A pile of people are hungry. And discontent has increased even further. Put more fighting pits down. See if that might help. I doubt it, but oh, and upgrade this house too. And this house, apparently. Alright, so there isn't enough people in the prison to... Alright, so I have 18 hours and change to... Yeah, discontent was increasing. So now it's at max again. No road for this one, apparently. Okay. It can be remedied. Wait 14 days, and discontent's too high anyway, so doesn't matter. See if we had a fighting pit there anyway. I could if I tear down, what is this thing? A hothouse or the or an infirmary. Can research something, and discontent's back up again. Actually, no, I can't because, well, I don't have the metal because I'm using it to build houses. Fear of the storm, panic spreads, sir. Even more people have abandoned their workplaces. They're completely petrified. Many of them don't believe it will make it. That's probably true. This time the entire staff at this gathering post will refuse to work. Let them stay home. In fact, let everybody stay home. We're all going to die anyway. So I can't use Roundup because ability conditions have not been met. Discontent's too high, so I can't actually pass any more laws. I got about half a day before discontent keeps rising. Do anything, just shut that down. I don't even have enough engineers to fully staff it anymore anyway. All the spare ones died. What's this? A desperate father-daughter returned. Sir, the runaway girl has returned. She was found huddled in a warm spot right by the generator. She's starving, exhausted, and frostbitten. Aren't we all? I think she must have turned back soon after leaving the city, although it's still a miracle that she survived now at all. Now she's asking for her father. Someone will have to tell her he's dead. Well, that's both cool and tragic and annoying. I'll do it. considered a last act of the job. Alright, so more panic spreads, or even more people have abandoned their workplace. They're completely petrified. Many don't believe we'll make it. It's steamwork. Let them stay home. Like I said, let everybody stay home. In about, 6 hours and 30 minutes, it's not going to be my problem anyway. What do I care? He's round up again. Didn't even phase it. That's how high discontent is. Didn't even phase the bar. Well, I tried. I failed. Let's get on with it. We'll die in the streets. Disperse the crowd. Find another way. It's too cold for the infirmaries to work. The generator. Well, now it's too cold for the generators to even work. It's going to get even colder. Everybody's starving. Everybody's sick. Everybody's freezing. I lose my job in about 3.5 hours. Discontent's through the roof because everybody's cold at home. Everybody's hungry. Everybody's freezing. And it's just basically ridiculously cold because I can't keep them warm. I mean, I'm running the generator at steam level 3. I can turn all the steam hubs on, but that just basically increases the range of the generator. It doesn't actually make things warmer. Yeah, a spare engineer, interesting. So I can't actually make it warmer, and discontent's too high. So I've lost this. And I'm just keep playing because I want to see the end. Your time has come. Good riddance, we're better off without him. No, you're not. You should be happy we didn't wring his neck. Now who will make our city great again and start rebuilding at last. No, you won't, because there's nothing to rebuild, and you overdrive the generator, and it dies. A band of grim men drags you under the generator. The crowd erupts with angry shouts. Hang the bastard, throw him into the generator. You know, I wonder if that would actually make it warmer. You summarily judge and spare the death sentence as recognition for your efforts. You were banished from the city instead. To die cold and alone as opposed to cold with everybody else. I did my best. No, I didn't. And that's the end. We failed to survive. That actually makes me sad. But on that note, I shall call it here. One more thing, I hope anybody who actually watches this has enjoyed this series. This is the first time I've ever actually finished a game series, so this has been Frostpunk. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.